السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد, and welcome to another video on the Islamic Knowledge YouTube channel. And in today's video, we're going through a very classic book that has been written by Imam Badruddin Al-Ayni rahimahullah ta'ala. I'm going to explain what this book is all about. But first of all, if I could just please recommend that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please do share this video with whoever you think might benefit from it as well. And we are looking at arguably one of the best commentaries, if not the best commentary in my opinion, of Al-Hidayah. Now, what is Al-Hidayah? في شرح بداية المبتدي. So we know we've got a book called Bidayah al-Mubtadi. This is a book written by Sahib al-Hidayah, Imam Ali ibn Abi Bakr al-Marghinani, and this book is basically a combination of Al-Jami' al-Saghir and Mukhtasar al-Quduri. So students study Mukhtasar al-Quduri usually in the third year of their Islamic studies, and you will study, if you are studying the Hanafi madhab in any Islamic studies or Islamic seminary, you will be studying Mukhtasar al-Quduri. It's a must. So this book, Imam Ali ibn Abi Bakr al-Marghinani rahimahullah, combines Mukhtasar al-Quduri and Al-Jami' al-Saghir into this book called Bidayatul Mubtadi. And by the way, if I can just say, alhamdulillah, we're doing a course on this actual book, and we're currently on to the second year of our Fiqh al-Mu'amalat, which is fully based upon this book. And this obviously is primarily made up of Mukhtasar al-Quduri, because Quduri is so much bigger than Al-Jami' al-Saghir of Imam Muhammad. Bidayatul Mubtadi therefore is more or less a summary, or it's more or less you could say remake of Mukhtasar al-Quduri. And so our course that we're doing on this, and we are covering the Mu'amalat section at this moment in time, but inshallah over time we are going to cover the entire book. So we're starting off with Mu'amalat, but we are going to move to the Ibadat as well with Mufti Farasab. And therefore, if you want to join that course, wherein if you're studying Quduri, you need to be on this course wherein we're going through Fiqh al-Mu'amalat, and we're on to year 2 right now, but you can still join year 1 and year 2 both if you want to, and you can access that, and I'll put the link in the description to join that course. But in any case, back to the video. Imam Ali ibn Abi Bakr al-Marghinani writes a book called Bidayatul Mubtadi. He then writes a massive commentary on this book, which we haven't got access to. It's been lost for ages and centuries really, which is Kifayatul Muntahi. Kifayatul Muntahi, it's been recorded by number of scholars. For example, Ibn Daqmaq al-Qahiri, Mullah Ali al-Qadi rahimahullah records from him that he states that the book was actually lost during the Mongol invasion. Allah knows best, everything is always blamed on the Mongols, always, so that may not be entirely accurate, but the book is lost. That part is true. Kifayatul Muntahi, which is the commentary on Bidayatul Mubtadi. And remember, what is Bidayatul Mubtadi made up of? Quduri and Al-Jami' al-Saghir. So that large commentary is lost. The smaller commentary, Al-Hidayah, that he wrote after Kifayatul Muntahi, has been available for centuries, and it's a very famous book in the Hanafi madhab. When it comes to commentaries upon Al-Hidayah, so now you've got Al-Hidayah, which is a sharah of Bidayatul Mubtadi, written by the same author, Ali ibn Abi Bakr al-Marghinani. Bidayah is a combination of Quduri and Al-Jami' al-Saghir. Therefore, Al-Hidayah is more or less a commentary upon Al-Quduri, because Al-Jami' al-Saghir is so small, we could say that the vast majority of Bidayah is actually just Mukhtasar al-Quduri, and therefore the commentary on it, Al-Hidayah, is actually just a commentary on Quduri, more or less. And how do I know this? Because Al-Ayni says exactly those words in Al-Binayah, and that's where I come to now, the commentaries on Al-Hidayah themselves. So we've got a number of good commentaries, and I'm going to make some videos on the other ones as well, inshallah. But I'm going to make a video on my favorite commentary, the one that, alhamdulillah, I've read about good 5 volumes of this book, and I do hope to share my notes on this book. This is volume 1 of Al-Binayah fi Sharh al-Hidayah by Imam Badruddin Al-Ayni. This is the Maktab al-Haqqaniyah print. Now, it's better than the DKI or Darul Fikr, whatever edition that we've got, but it's still not a fantastic edition at all. Both the editions, the Maktab al-Haqqaniyah and the Darul Kutub, are really bad, and that's actually been mentioned by a number of scholars, including the scholars who have worked on this beautiful commentary of Hidayah called Ghayatul Bayan. And we're going to look at these 2 books just now. So the commentators or the researchers on Ghayatul Bayan, which is another commentary of Al-Hidayah. So these are 2 commentaries of Al-Hidayah. This one's written by Al-Ayni much later. This one is written by Imam Al-Atqani rahimahullah ta'ala. But we're going to come to that just now. They've mentioned in here as well, and you can notice it as soon as you start reading it, that this copy is really bad. But it's still readable, it's legible, and it's not a major issue. But yes, we are expecting a new edition coming out very soon, inshallah ta'ala. Now, I've got my notes for all 5 volumes inside each of the volumes here, and I will share this inshallah ta'ala on the Telegram channel, Islamic Knowledge Telegram channel. I've got my notes on this, and they're all legible, by the way, so you could at least get a good glimpse of what's happening in the book, some interesting points in the book. So I'll put the link for the Telegram channel. All you need to do, go on Telegram at IK Courses, type that into the search engine, join that Telegram channel, and you will get PDF of my notes, not just of volume 1, but as you can see, this is I think volume 3. Got my notes on this as well, and I will share all of these inshallah ta'ala on the Islamic Knowledge Telegram channel. Now what I want to do is I want to just mention some of the interesting points Al-Ayni's Al-Binayah. Why is it so good? Now we know that Al-Ayni rahimahullah, number one, he lived for a long time. He passed away at the age of approximately 93, passed away actually quite close to Al-Azhar. He passed away in his, if I'm not mistaken, he is buried in the cemetery of the madrasa that he established that is very close to Al-Azhar, and therefore there's actually a story about him that he wouldn't read Salah in Al-Azhar, because in the masjid of Al-Azhar, in the Jami', because of the fact that there was a Shi'i endower, etc., who was used to swear at the Sahaba. So Al-Ayni didn't used to prefer reading Salah there. But in any case, the book is absolutely filled with fawaid and benefit. What's the unique number one feature of Al-Binayah? It's the fact that in only Al-Binayah, or primarily in Al-Binayah, you will notice that Al-Ayni tries to commentate upon every comment of Sahib al-Hidayah. So whenever Sahib al-Hidayah says anything, even a word, so it's not like one of those wherein he picks up one word from Sahib al-Hidayah, like he says qawluhu, whereas if you pick up a commentary like the one that I just showed just now, which is Al-Atqani's, and this is a massive print, by the way, this is a massive print. In this one you'll notice it's all qawluhu, so you pick it up and it's not always qawluhu. This is, by the way, the introduction, so it's not in here, but when you pick up the commentary of Al-Atqani or even of Ibn al-Humam rahimahullah, who's got a commentary called Fathul Qadir, it's always the commenting on certain comments made by Sahib al-Hidayah. Al-Ayni comments on every word in the book, and that is perfect for a teacher, a student. This is every single student who is studying Al-Hidayah must have this book in their library. Absolute must. In fact, even if you're a mufti, in our iftar class, we still use this. It's absolutely filled with fawaid. It is filled with benefit. Now, I'm just going to mention a few things. For example, this is volume 1, page 219. These are the types of comments which it might be available in another book as well. I'm not saying it's only available in this book, but you will find these type of things brilliantly written in Al-Binayah. Here on this page, I've written in my notes here that it's on volume 1, page 219. So let me just have a look here. This is volume 1, page 219. I do hope it's here. So these little comments, like here, look how he says about Al-Hidayah. لأن هذا الكتاب كالشرح على القدور, which is just what I said right at the start. Then at times you will notice, for example, in volume 5, I've made a note here to add this into the video, which is in volume 5, you'll notice how fair Al-Ayni is. At times he'll critique Sahib al-Hidayah himself. So on page, this is volume 5, page 175, you will actually see him here. وَالْعَجَبُ مِنْ صَاحِبِ الْهِدَايَةِ رَحِمَهُ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى. You can say with respect, حيث يستدل بالدليل العقلي والخصم يستدل بالحديث. Obviously there are answers to this, but you can just see Al-Ayni is not afraid to critique Sahib al-Hidayah. Now, one of the things which Al-Ayni is definitely known for is his absolute hatred, I would say. Not hatred, but he really does not like Imam Al-Atqani rahimahullah ta'ala. He is not a fan of Al-Atqani at all. Al-Atqani, by the way, is the author of this book, Ghayatul Bayan. This is only one volume, by the way, and these are only a few volumes of Al-Binayah I am showing you. Obviously, Al-Binayah is about 15 volumes. I will put a picture of the full edition of Al-Binayah on the screen right now, and this is only one volume. This is actually only the introduction written by the researchers of Ghayatul Bayan, and this is by Al-Atqani, who passed away, I believe, in 758. Al-Ayni passed away in 855, so almost about 100 years later. But he does not like him at all, in the sense that he finds him very arrogant at times. And the researchers, however, have pointed out something interesting, and you notice this when you read Al-Binayah, that even though Al-Ayni really critiques and attacks Al-Atqani a lot, and I'll show you a few examples, and in fact I've made a section in all my notes of the attacks of Al-Ayni on Al-Atqani, But you will notice he has benefited so much. Al-Ayni has benefited so much from Ghayatul Bayan that it's actually unbelievable. And this book is phenomenal as well. And this book needs a whole video on its own. But in any case, the researchers say, إن من يتأمل جميع تعقبات العين على المؤلف في كتابه البناية يدرك تحاملا شديدا وتهويلات عجيبة في الرد والانتقاد بل لا يكاد يذكر مؤلف إلا في مقام الغمز منه والنقد عليه مع أنه لا يستغني في النقل عنه في كل مرة تصريحا وغير تصريح. Look at this. بل لو قيل لأنه استل مادة كتابه وأدرجها كتابه البناية ما كان ذلك بعيدا عند من خبر الحقيقة وقارن بإنصاف بين الشرحين. I have to agree with these researchers. Allah knows best, but from my readings of Al-Binayah, and I've read alhamdulillah 5 volumes of it, I hope to read more. Please do make dua I can finish it. From my readings, he's benefiting a lot from Ghayatul Bayan. And I used to use the manuscript of Ghayatul Bayan back then, and I used to notice that he is still benefiting from Ghayatul Bayan. But I want to just show you some of his critiques of Al-Atqani. Sometimes it's just straight up, he does not like him at all. He finds him almost a bit annoying at times. That's how Al-Ayni seems to be viewing Al-Atqani. So here's some examples. I mean, you don't even need to change many pages. Here he is attacking Al-Atqani. So he says وقال الشيخ أبو الحسين القدوري في شرح مختصر الكرخي قال ابن مسعود. He mentions that انتهى. Now he's quoting, you could say, Al-Atqani, and he'll refer to Al-Atqani, by the way, by Al-Atrazi. Al-Atrazi. So every time he says قال Al-Atrazi, he's referring to Al-Atqani. Right, he's just got the name wrong. I don't know if he's got it wrong or if there's a تصحيف in our edition. Allah knows best. قلت الذي يتصدى لشرح كتاب ويذكر فيه أحاديث في معرض الاستدلال ينبغي أن لا يكتفي بهذا القدر لأن الخصم لا يرضى به أما حديث. And then he's constantly just critiquing, breaking down his arguments, even though obviously they are both part of the same madhab. Then another comment that he makes in here, Al-Ayni, which I found very controversial to be honest, is that he claims Tahawi is more of a faqih than Bukhari and Muslim. I think personally that's pushing it, but wallahu alam, you could argue. I personally don't like comparisons like that anyway. It doesn't sound too nice. But in any case, he says وهو أحد الثقات. He's talking about الطحاوي. وهو أحد الثقات الأثبات والحفاظ الجهابذة فهو كما ترى إمام عظيم ثبت ثقة حجة كالبخاري ومسلم وغيرهما من أصحاب السنن والصحة يدل على ذلك اتساع روايته ومشاركته إياهم بل هو أثبت منهم في استنباط الأحكام من القرآن والسنة وأفقه منهم في الفقه. So he actually feels Tahawi is afqah than Bukhari and Muslim, which is obviously an argument he's allowed to hold. Another interesting part in the 4th volume is you get an indication that he clearly wrote this book after he wrote Umdatul Qari, which is his famous commentary on Bukhari, because he says here فَمَنْ أَرَادَ ذَلِكَ فَعَلَيْهِ بِشَرْحِنَا لِلْبُخَارِ الَّذِي سَمَّيْنَاهُ عُمْدَةَ الْقَارِ في شرح البخاري. So you get little beneficial points like that as well. Again, Hidayah is at the top, Al-Binayah is at the bottom. And another brilliant thing is at the end of every bab you'll get a section which will be furu', and furu' means any random masail that fit into this section, he'll put them in. So that is a brilliant section for iftar students. They will find some fawaid in there that you won't find in really many other books. And Al-Ayni has read so many of the Hanafi books. It's actually incredible. Along with Atqani, by the way, another person that Al-Ayni pays special attention to is Ibn Hazm. Ibn Hazm al-Zahiri rahimahullah. You can see Al-Ayni has a special attachment with him. I say that in a sinister way. He seems to constantly want to refute him. So even here as well, if you look on volume 1, page 367, right? He's because of obviously Ibn Hazm's constant critiques of the A'imma of all the madhahib really. So you can see Al-Ayni pays special attention. You could probably make a whole section of Al-Ayni's attacks. And you find this in Umdatul Qari as well, by the way. Constant critique of Ibn Hazm. So on this page as well, page 367, volume 1, he has a strong critique of Ibn Hazm rahimahullah ta'ala. And then another unique feature of Al-Ayni's Al-Binayah is his hadith abilities. Obviously this is the author of Umdatul Qari, so you are going to get a phenomenal presentation of takhrij. Obviously when it comes to ulum al-hadith, some comments he will make that you will realize are not entirely accurate. For example, he fully relies on whenever Imam Abu Dawud rahimahullah narrates a hadith and stays silent upon it, he fully relies on that. But for example, just have a look at page 189 of volume 1. The way he presents his takhrij is absolutely phenomenal. phenomenal. And this is exactly how you should be presenting a hadith, a takhrij of a hadith. He says, روي هذا الحديث عن 7 أنفس من الصحابة مرفوعا وهم أبو موسى الأشعري وأبو هريرة وعبد الله بن عمر وأنس بن مالك وجابر بن عبد الله وعمران بن الحسين وأبو المليح عن أبيه واسمه أسامة بن عمرو بن عامر بن قيس الهذلي الكوفي وقال ذهبي روى كاريزان. And then أما حديث أبي موسى فرواه الطبراني. Then he goes into the hadith of each sahabi. أما حديث فلان أما حديث فلان أما حديث فلان فرواه. That's exactly how you should be presenting a takhrij. It's brilliant, really beneficial book. Every student, not just student, every teacher should be using this book of Al-Hida. They already are, but I just want to make this video to like kind of motivate you even more to just continue reading this book. You will benefit so much. Inshallah, I hope to share all my notes on it. So if you find anything beneficial, please do, remember me in your du'as. I hope you inshallah benefit from the notes. And until the next video, and also, by the way, just before I finish, if I could recommend, if you are able to, become a ambassador of Islamic knowledge. That would be really good. Have a look at the description, the first link, inshallah ta'ala. And I hope to see you in the next video. Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.